Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be building a motel. I got the idea just because I was writing down different ideas for builds that I could do in The Sims that I would really enjoy using in my own gameplay, and I came up with this idea to build kind of like a seedy motel. I thought having this in my game would make it a lot more entertaining. I know you don't really have a lot for a hotel or a motel, but I figured, you can do whatever you want, show up and play it and act like that. This is one of my longer build videos. It is going to be around 14 minutes, so there is a lot of content to watch. So I apologize in advance for that if you're not into super long builds. So for this build, I wanted it to be only 2 floors because I was thinking about motels and a lot of them have 3 floors, but because I feel like I'm just repeating the same rooms over and over again, I decided to only do 2 floors. On this first floor, I do also include an office, and that is the first thing I build. I thought having an office also gives it more of like depth, I guess, makes it actually feel like it's a real motel. I kind of wanted to do one of those really sketchy motel ones where they're just like in a little box looking out the window with metal bars in front of it, but I figured that since I had the space, I might as well make one that's actually inside. I don't know if anyone watching this video has ever seen Schitt's Creek, but I will say this kind of is inspired by that. I won't say it's exactly like that, but they have a motel with a little office area that is kind of like, older looking, but also just kind of gross, I would say. And for this build, I kind of was thinking about that when I was doing it. I also put a lot more clutter in this space since I'm falling in love with this idea of cluttering things up to make them look more realistic and more used, I guess. So this room has one of the most clutter sections, I believe, in the whole build, just because I wanted it to seem more used, and I also can't really put clutter in an empty hotel room because I wanted the rooms to look like how they would look if you wanted to check them out, maybe have your Sims stay in them. I thought, leaving it more basic is more of the look. I also struggled here trying to find something for the key holder thingies. I have no idea what those are called, but a section where you put the keys on, when you go into the motel and then they're like, oh, here's your key. I was trying to figure out what would look best there. I did end up, I think, staying with the same shelves in the front. I do mess around with it a little bit because I was like, there has to be something that has a better shape. However, it's The Sims and there wasn't. I also ended up making a tiny bathroom in there that anyone could use, and then also that back room is a closet that I could fill with more clutter because, again, I think I am falling madly in love with this idea of clutter and making it look like a real used place. So a lot of my videos in the future will probably contain several very long sections of me just filling the room with random pieces of clutter that repeat over and over to make it look much more livable. I also ended up using some pretty simple photos in the rooms, like decoration wise, because whenever I go to like a motel or a hotel or whatever, they always have the same, like, not the same necessarily, I don't run in between different rooms, but usually you find like those pictures that are just these awkward framed scenery, landscape type pictures and stuff that are really just kind of filler space. It's like they didn't want to put a window there, so instead they just put like one photo to make it feel more homey, I guess. So I do end up doing a lot of that with the decor. Also throughout this video you will see that I am just repeating this initial design pretty much in the same rooms. This room is a little bigger, and the 2 rooms in the same spot upstairs are also a little bit bigger, so they are slightly different sized than the rest of the rooms, but for the majority, all the rooms look identical. I did end up putting different wall cracks in there and using the pictures to like cover it up because I felt that looked pretty realistic. I figure a motel would definitely like to hide their cracks in their walls if they had them. So yeah, for the majority of this video, I am just repeating the rooms over and over again. However, it was worth it for the build because now it's pretty authentic looking. I also only put 1 bed in all of the rooms. I basically just started doing this build, and then after I finished it, I was like, oh my gosh, I literally put one bed in every room. What kind of motel only has rooms with one bed? But, you know, it's The Sims, and I gave myself limited space to work with, and I set it up weird from the beginning, so by the point I realized that, it was too late, and now all the rooms have one bed. Anyway, I think it's better than nothing. If you wanted to have a group of Sims like stay there and do that kind of gameplay, you could just say that they all got separate rooms and maybe had more money than they would normally. I don't know. I do end up also making a laundry room here pretty soon because I was trying to space out these rooms so they all looked pretty good, like size-wise, so that your Sims could actually function in there. But when I went to have a third room on this first floor, I realized that that space I made was going to be way too small, and I didn't really want to add like some sort of weird bathroom or something in that corner, and I couldn't think of anything else that they have in motels other than like ice machines, and I didn't think I needed an ice machine or vending machine room because I didn't feel like there's not really one in The Sims, but I wanted it to be, you know, I don't know, more motel-y, I guess. When I think about motels, I really honestly just assume that they're like really trashy. I know that not all motels are that way, but I was imagining this motel as like basically empty. I actually do include a breakfast type area too, and I think that that would definitely not be in this motel. Like, I set it up so that it is not that way. For the laundry room here too, I made it really basic. I did think about putting in tables, because I figure like at an actual like laundromat, you're gonna have little tables or something to like sit around while you're waiting for your laundry to get done. But I didn't have enough space for that either, so it did end up just being a couple of chairs and a couple of laundry machines. For these upper bedrooms, again, these two are the larger ones, so they're technically the better suites, but I mean, in reality, they're basically the same budget as the other rooms. They are slightly bigger. I didn't add anything else that the other bedrooms don't have, but I do have a different layout for them. I also think the mirrors on the upper floors are the full body mirrors, which are technically better, because I ended up thinking that looked better than the mirrors I was using originally in the downstairs ones. And then when I got to the point of making this one, I was like, well, basically, the upstairs bedrooms are more expensive than the downstairs bedrooms, so they technically get something a little better. I know it's not basically the most beautiful room ever, but, you know, I thought it added a little depth to the gameplay. I do mess around a lot, too, with what paintings I put in there and what sort of wall cracks I put in there. I really wanted the game to have more wall crack designs, I guess. You know, to make it look more authentic, like, you know, an actual rundown building or something that was, you know, a little more decrepit than it is in this one. I did use quite a bit of the same cracks over and over. If you're not looking too intensely, I covered most of them up with pictures because I figure that's what motels would do if they were trying to do that. But if you're not looking too closely, you honestly have no idea that I did that, and I don't think it'll really, you know, change your experience of being in the motel. So here I am working a little bit more on the outside of the building, trying to make it look kind of grungy and like used, I guess, for lack of a better term. Again, I felt like those cracky wall things were very repetitive, so I couldn't really change the sizing of them. I mean, not the sizing, I couldn't really change the like angles and stuff at which they were, but I think that would have made it look a lot better. However, I do think some cracks on the walls are pretty nice. I also decided to add a pool in the front because I kind of wanted it to have that kind of vibe. To me, it ultimately feels kind of like a movie set or a motel that you would see in some sort of TV show where they're visiting like the sketchy motel to find like the bad guy or something. And I feel like a lot of those have pools in the front. I don't know, I just think it fits the vibe better. And it's not even, it's one of those pools where it's definitely not a high-end pool. It's like you can swim back and forth like 2 times and you've done the whole thing. And it's also kind of crappy, like, you know, it's not really like they invested all of their money into it, and they've got like one life preserver in case there is an emergency, and this one doesn't even have a hot tub, and I feel like a lot of like nicer hotels always have the hot tub. I did decide to make a little pool shed over here. I was debating between like a bathroom maybe, but then I was like, you know what, you're staying at the hotel, I'm sure you'll have a bathroom in your room. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you liked it, make sure to let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if I need to do anything better. I did try my best, but if there's suggestions, I would love to take them. And subscribe if you want to enjoy more of my awkward talking and this great content. Thank you guys for watching.